Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Tax accounting, estate planning, insurance, business filings, and saving money on taxes. Sometimes it consumes us. Sometimes we put it off. Sometimes we do all right. But without a tax professional we can trust, where is our business financial planning? So tonight's interview, we have Zephrina of Transportation CFO Inc. We'll meet estate planning attorney Chris Dumm and learn more about protecting wealth. Lionel Yates of CY Financial Solutions and your DOT guy Brian Riker will also join us, along with Thompson of Cars on the Move. And we need you to please join the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business. Because it's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning in again on a Tuesday night. It is Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Thank you so much for taking the time and spending it with us together. And if it's your first time here, I want to tell you what's going on. I want you to first feel welcome. Please do feel welcome. Say hello in the live chat, because we're going to go into the live chat and we're going to say hello all together. Let me know, where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about planning for next? What are you wrapping up, or what solution you're trying to solve right now? We're going to go into industry news of the quarter hour. It's turned into like a 20+ minute segment, and it's jam-packed. We got national news, social media news, front of the store, back of the store, what's being talked about, auto transport tech, car shipping trends, vehicle logistics news, and stuff that happened today. We're going to then go into our interview at 40 minutes with Zephrina, Transportation CFO Inc., and we're going to talk to Zephrina. She likes to talk about saving money on your taxes, right? Tax savings. That's a big topic. So we're gonna dive into that, and Ty is also gonna help us with that. And then we're gonna meet Chris. Now, Chris is an estate planning attorney. He's gonna join the show. He is talking about protecting wealth. So we'll do tax, estate planning, and then we're gonna cover all the bases. Bring in Lionel to talk about insurance. Bring in Brian to talk about more of the regulatory and compliance issues, and diving into FMCSA regulations. This is a catch-all show where if you want to talk about those things that affect your business financially and ultimately your life and planning financially, well, then this is the show. This is it. This is episode 169 on a Tuesday night. I see folks jumping into the live chat, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'll tell you what, hey, do me a favor. You're watching the YouTube channel. You see below the video that share button. After you hit the like button, do me a favor. Hit that share button. Click copy. You can grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media, let somebody know, listen, I heard you talking about money. This is the show. This is about you, your trucking business, tax savings, financial planning, maybe make a new friend in the consultation arena. And if that's not enough, go ahead and sign up at autotransportintel.com. Get on the email list. Talk to Ty one-on-one. You can also join our roundtable. We want to see you in there. We want to help. That's what this show is all about. So without further ado, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and check this out. When we come back, we're going to say hello in the live chat. And I'll talk to you in a second.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
That is the voice of Sue, and there in the live chat, you've got the website. You'll have the phone number, email address. Sue is a fully licensed broker and also leads a dispatch team, and she's my co-host every Thursday at noon on Dispatching Live. If you've got a dispatching question, you're looking for a dispatcher, or if you're looking for a broker you can talk to, she's got you covered. So check it out. There's the information. Talk to her, and we'd love to have you join us on Thursdays at noon. We had a brand new dispatcher in there, and I think I've got that. Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that in industry news. That's coming up in a second. Before I get into that stuff, let's go into the live chat. I got to back it up here, but you're seeing this is the current live chat on the screen. But if I go back in time, Carlos Braxton was in here first. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for tuning in. A regular, long-time listener, long-time live chatter. So thank you so much, Carlos, for tuning in. Ty says the best car shipping business channel in the world. Oh, that was a little light. There we go. There we go. A little louder. Thank you so much, Ty. Mark is in here. What's going on, Mark? I just woke everybody up. Mark is in here. What's going on? And oh, Kimberly's in here, monitoring the live chat and saying hello. Thank you so much, Kimberly. So appreciate what you do, and appreciate you. And happy holidays, right? Andrew Serica, Carlos, what's going on, man? Secure Motor Transport. Thank you, Andrew. I love it when I get the company name, because eventually I'll get it. Like I know Devin from Victory Lap Transport, right? Because I've seen it enough and read it enough. So please do that. Thank you, Andrew. Great to hear from you. Secure Motor Transport. Let's see. Silvermint is here. What's up, Silvermint? Fast Eddie Transport. Silvermint knows the deal. Thank you so much, Eddie. And I forget sometimes, and I apologize in advance. I apologize. Man, I forget, but I try. I'm trying, man. What else we got here? Oh, Truckify's in the house. Moozy with Truckify. What's up? Truckify's in the house. Superflow. Merry Christmas. David Gonzalez. Howdy from Texas. What's up, David? Steady Trucking says hello. What's up, Steady Trucking? Click Transportation. Merry Christmas. D.H. Baird. Looking forward to the subject. That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you, D.H. Mark and and Lionel's in here. What's up, Lionel? Ahmad Sharaf is in here. What's up, Ahmad? This is great. Great to see you guys in here. Yes, Devin, as I'm here to grow my business. Only place to find it on ATI. Thank you, Devin. That is really nice. Brian Riker, hello, Ecosystem, your DOT guy. And you know, Brian and I, starting in January, we're going to be live every Wednesday. By the way, how's that audio? It looks a little hot. Check, check. Okay, Mike. But yeah, so Brian is in here, and that's what I love, the live chat. So once we get into the interview and the panel, if you want to take a question offline or make contact, you've heard enough, you want to make contact, do that in the live chat. I'm going to get you any contact information you need. Ty is in here with the first super chat. Thank you, buddy. Ty, I really do appreciate you, man. It means a lot, you know, your support, contribution, friendship, etc. I can't. He says whatever you want. I mean, I don't even know what you want, but you can have it. So thank you, Ty. I really do appreciate that, buddy. Brian Pepson is here. Hello. Hey, everyone. The hardest part of being in business, finding a great shop. Thanks for introducing us to Adcock from Mannheim. Nice. That is awesome, man. We're all about, thank you, Kimberly. The audio's good. We're all about networking, connecting dealers, auctions, carriers, OEMs, insurance, tax, services, regulation, websites, mobile apps. Okay. Need some, what? The wrong button. I got so excited. Hey, Darude one is in here. New Level Transport checking in. Cool. What's up? Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for posting your company name. That is awesome. And Brian really is the compliance man. It is awesome. And thank you guys again for tuning in, being a part of the channel, of the show, of the topic. And if you've got something, I've seen this in DOT compliance. We've had some really good questions. So don't be afraid to ask something really hard. You know, I think you should strive to be the live chat stumper, right? You post that one question that everybody's like, wow, that's the greatest thing ever posted in a live chat of all time. And I'm so glad that I'm reading that now. So go ahead and do that. Or put a Christmas tree or a snowman in there. Actually, there's this thing called super stickers that you can put in the live chat. I need to find out more about it. But apparently there are now, I guess because we've crossed 10K subscribers, there is now another level of community, etc., and interaction we can get into. Got to find out what that's all about. So, awesome. So you're here. Pre-super sticker evolution. But before I go any further in that direction, here's what I want to do. We're going to get to industry news. So industry news is coming up next. And if you've got some news, you can always email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. We've got a few, there's always something people send me, images or news articles. I want to know what it is. I want to include it. So stick around. Right after this, we're going into industry news.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geolocated pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
Mark Grodicke is the owner at Superflow Systems. He's in the live chat. In fact, thank you, Mark, so much for such a contribution, dude. Mark is a fundamental part now of the audience and participation core at ATI, and I thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for that. That super chat is super nice, and Christmas cheer all around. Dispatch Center, if you haven't checked it out, again, you can go to superflowsystems.com, and the link is in the live chat. End-to-end software, all the way from, you got your customer lead, Pro ABD CRM. Move that into Dispatch Center, and you manage your loads all the way to iTruckPay. You got Truckify mobile app. You got Transport Auto Quoter, although I'm going to start doing the Kung Fu again, but he's got you covered. So if you got a question for Mark, he's in the live chat. Thank you so much. Let's go into industry news. What's my first thing? Oh, of course, tonight's show. It's always the first video, image, thumbnail on the industry news. Transporter tax savings. Right now, somebody's like, what's he talking about? I'm talking about transporter tax savings. All right, Zephrina really likes to focus on tax savings rather than paying taxes. Now, and I'm going to ask her what how does she delineate the difference? Huh? Thank you, Brian. You know what? Thank you, Brian. That's super cool. Oh, wait, and that's a super sticker, I think. Wow, very cool, man. Now, it's interesting. Yeah, it must be because you can't see it on the screen, but you can see it in the live chat, which means it's truly interactive. And I was going to say, what's neat, Brian, is that Brian was on the show, was that a couple years ago? And I think it was a Sun Country show, something like that. And now to hear, Brian's ready for the stinger, that is super cool. And thank you for keeping us posted. Really, congratulations to you, Brian, for doing such a great job and growing your business. And so now, right, start pulling in the business. It's time to figure out some transporter tax savings. So that's tonight's show. So we're looking forward to having Zephrina on here in about 25 minutes. This is her website that she works with, zmcassociates.com. So we're going to learn more about the different services and categories up there. This is Chris's website, protectingwealth.com. So we're going to be talking more about that, protectingwealth.com. Remember, auto-hauler.com. This is CY Financial Solutions. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about insurance with Lionel, and then also your DOT guy, Brian Riker. You can go to yourdotguy.com, and it forwards to fleetcompliancesolutions.net. All kinds of information. I love to talk about the ecosystem, but tonight we're going to focus on services. That's where we're at. That's where everything is at on behalf of the ecosystem. I confuse people all the time. I go from the back of the store to the front of the store. I go back and forth. And so what's the difference? You got the back of the store, you got the front of the store. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk about the difference. But before I do, you want to make sure, did you see last week's show, Expecting Unicorn Transport? Now, we talked about both sides of the store. And we actually, Robbie from LMR Companies, he was the interview. Man, that was great stuff. Looking forward to having more information from Robbie on the show. And so check that out. Now, I think the title, Auto Transport Broker Carrier. But if you look for Expecting Unicorn Transport, look for that image. And then if you click below in the video description, there's time codes where you can jump ahead to different sections in the video. In fact, we talked about this on Cars on the Move. Lionel of Acme Transport, he was so psyched about the show, he talked to Robbie. He got business because of the Tuesday night show. He's a 9-car, and he was interested in the routes. So there we are on Cars on the Move talking about that. And that is part of the networking that I am describing. Here's an email I got. This is last Thursday. Beginners Car Haul Dispatch. Good day, my name is Jacqueline. I'm contacting you for advice for a first-timer who wants to become a dispatcher. I emailed her back. This was 30 minutes before going live. I emailed her back, said, listen, join us for dispatching live. She made it to the show, and I think she got more than she bargained for. Let's just put it that way. So you can check out Dispatching Live from last Thursday. What bad news and real truth. Yeah, that's dispatching's tough, man. That's why I try to fun it up a little bit with the I got the horns and the because I got to try to keep it light. But that's not what we do on Wednesdays, right? Jay, you're losing me now. You're talking about all these shows. Well, on Wednesdays we do the DOT compliance show. That's live with Brian Riker, and we were talking about truck overhang and deleting the truck. Man, great stuff. So if you even think about deleting your truck, you want to check out that show with Brian Riker. I think you're going to think twice. Biden expected to pick Pete Buttigieg as transportation chief. I think you saw this. Everybody knows this. Next. But we bring it up because it's important. Did you see this? CARB to provide $28 million in zero-emission trucks incentive program. By the way, that wasn't, I just mean that we all know it. Don't you hate it when we all know something and then someone's like, yeah, so I want to tell you about something, and you're like, yeah, I totally already know that. I already knew that. But in case you didn't know that. And then CARB, this stuff gets into the minutia. This would be better on the DOT show. So I'm just going to make an executive decision. Next. Now this, I don't know where to put this. I honestly don't know where to file this. In fact, I don't think it's real. You know, in fact, as I zoom in right now, that's been photoshopped. So, I'm going to file that under photoshopped. Next. Attention, $2,500 reward for the information leading to the involvement of a hit and run at Manheim, PA auto auction. This was on either Saturday after 5:30 up until Sunday at 9:30. And so I guess a car hauler hooked some cars. Anyways, if you know anything about it, contact Derek Hopkins at Fine Line Transportation. Yeah, it's a pretty good PSA there, actually. Thank you, Derek, for posting that. Because we do, here's why I share this. We do have, I mean, we're going to, the thing is, if we can't help clean up our own neighborhood, then they're going to find technology to do it. We're going to have drones everywhere. I don't know. Scary. Next. This is an actual scan our technology captured recently. So there's a vice grips under the car. Who would have known? Probably somebody would have been like, yeah, the transporter did it. Am I right? Huh? I'm right. Next. Let's see here. Oh, this is tough. Dan Inks, pilot car driver, owner of Roam Around LLC for heavy haul. He suffered a massive stroke at 42, currently fighting for his life. Man, he has a 5-year-old son. There's a GoFundMe account, gofundme.com/F/DAN-INKS. A message from Nationwide Transport Services. So, help if you can. 2020 U.S. car rental market. Found this interesting. This was on, I think, LinkedIn. U.S. cars in service in 2020. All right, rental cars, just under 2 million. Just under 2 million rental cars in the market. And 17,000 plus locations. Enterprise, Hertz, Avis, Sixt. Now, I know these numbers will change, but that's very interesting. Let's see what happens next. I also like seeing these. Saw this on LinkedIn. This is connecting front of the store with back of the store, right? Front of the store with back of the store. Oh, good. Some live chat stuff going on. What's up? But yeah, I like seeing the top sellers and top buyers. Who's buying cars, right? Is this where you find cars? Top sellers and top buyers. Who else we got? Oh, here's some top buyers. This is Manheim, out of the Manheim, Baltimore, Washington. They post this. It's interesting stuff. So follow that stuff. Read the Wall Street Journal, or whatever the market report is. Farm report? Farmer's Almanac? This was random. I still don't know what I'm looking at. Is it just... I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. Next. In 1959, a coffee maker was an optional extra in a Volkswagen. Yeah, I'll take one of those. That is fantastic. In fact, here's what I was thinking. Because we don't have those now, but maybe we will go back to this type of thing. In fact, I saw this picture. I didn't share it. There's like a rectangular bus with windows for walls, and this guy was like in an autonomous driving office. I don't know. But it didn't have anything with car hauling, so I skipped it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Is it efficient? It's interesting. How does that work? That is an interesting setup. DealerVendorMatch.com. That's what we're talking about. Is Paul in the audience tonight? I think he's here. Oh yeah, there he is. White tablecloth. Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Dealer Vendor Match. Also, hey, this was shared. This is from Mark Grodicke, Dispatch Center, Superflow Systems. He was letting me know the good news that, I don't know, why not, Paul? Why not? We're live. We are alive. And, that's not what I wanted. This was shared by Mark at Dispatch Center. He's been updating his mobile app to help make it, better, easier to use. So thank you, Mark, for updating the mobile app. Super cool. This is how you get your car shipping news. I mean, how else do you get your car shipping news? You get it on Auto Transport Intel on Tuesday Nights Live. And you send me emails, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Send it. Put it up on the big screen. Sign up as an ATI insider. And then you get your ELD punch. And you take a quick break, which is what we're going to do now. Hey, here's Ty. Here's to you.
Hey, it's Ty, transport guy, hanging out in the transport parking lot always. If you want to learn to grow your business, I think you should probably go to ATI Insider, sign up for free. Don't give anybody any money. And with that, you get, I think you get a 20-minute phone call, which usually turns into a little longer than that. You get to join the roundtable, which is once a month. And at the roundtable, what we do is we get pretty detailed about how to build your business, how to connect with dealers, how to connect with auctions, how to build a lane. If you're new, if you saw a YouTube video and says, I can make $1 million in relationships with other carriers, it's kind of not a one size fits all. It's here a little bit about you. Go to the ATI Insider, get signed up. I can help you. I really can.
He really can, and he really wants to. The link is right there in the live chat. Thank you, Ty, so much for everything that you do. And it's in the live chat. And thank you, Paul. Super cool. Appreciate that. Nick Medor, hope all is well. We hope you're well. So thank you for tuning in and saying hello, guys. I love doing this show. I really do appreciate it. And let's get back to the news. Now, the second half of industry news, I've learned what I do is this is the more of the front of the store. The back of the store is, kind of auto transport. What is he doing now? Auto transport today kind of stuff. But in the second half of industry news, we're going to look at a little bit more of a deeper dive of research and whatnot. And I'm reading this. I saw this, Riding the Rails, Amtrak's Auto Train cuts out the drive. I'm like, what is Amtrak's Auto Train? The Auto Train, which stretches 3/4 of a mile in length with 2 locomotives, up to 4 or more passenger rail cars and vehicle carriers, travels along 855 miles of track between Lorton, Virginia, just south of the D.C., and all the way to Sanford, near Orlando. I'm thinking, what is this, the Snowbird train? Operated by Amtrak since '83 in a typical year, the train carries 250,000 passengers, 130,000 vehicles, including cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, and motorcycles. Say what? Did you guys know this? I mean, I'm sure some people knew, but I never heard of this exact setup. I mean, it's just so specific. I mean, this is literally competing with Snowbird business. And it runs overnight, travels continuously through Virginia, Carolinas, Georgia, goes all the way to Florida. Guests arrive and start. So you got it now. This is an interesting part too. You got it. There's very specific rules about checking in your vehicle. You got to be on time. You got to follow certain rules. But it gets there. I mean, you're there 9 a.m. the next day. Well, that's fast to shoot, man. That's pretty fast. Plus, you save on hotels and whatnot. Here, there's a brochure all about it, the Auto Train, and it says effective. So, I don't know, man. I found this really interesting. Here's the information about it. I don't know where. I don't even know what the website is for this. I guess go to Amtrak.com/Auto Train Experience. Right now, somebody's like, Jay, why are you sharing this? Well, I tell you. We got to know. We got to know what's going on. We got to know whether we like it or not. We got to know. I don't know. I want to know. Anyways, here's the information. Check-ins, dimensions. And then there's standard, extended, 2-wheeled. Love to see the way people, well, I mean, I don't know. My Super Duty's kind of standard. Okay. So anyways, and then you got your animals and the tips and the whatnot. Very, very fascinating stuff. That's the Amtrak Auto Train. Here's another interesting story. Gatik, Walmart to expand autonomous vehicle delivery pilot. Telling you, man. So this is a driverless cube truck delivering stuff, I guess. Self-driving truck. The autonomous vehicle pilot in Bentonville, Arkansas, which is, I think, where Walmart is, Last year, the company began moving orders on a 2-mile route. All right. But they successfully completed more than 70,000 miles on that route. So, second test route, New Orleans to Metairie. I'm telling you, something to pay attention to. Also, hey, Nissan is going to roll out its Nissan at Home online buying experience. That is definitely front of this if not only front of the store, online near the front of the store, but Nissan at Home is competing online. They just announced it like yesterday. Lets prospective buyers schedule and complete a test drive, negotiate, do the paperwork, take final delivery of the vehicle. Nissan at Home schedule service appointments. Since the summer, the program was in pilot stage with 7 dealerships: Florida, Illinois, Michigan, Texas, Virginia. And it's going to be a big push in the spring, so look for that one. Nissan at Home. How about Honda expands CPO online? This is today. Today. I got this today on autoremarketing.com. Saw it on LinkedIn about 2 hours ago. And ACV, just saw this on LinkedIn about an hour ago. I mean, right before the show. ACV launches Marketplace 2.0. They're not messing around. Updating, searching, browsing, filtering, saved searches, multiple simultaneous filters, newly streamlined interface implements, digital auction cards, allowing users to view important details up front, place bids direct, an advanced watch list. Man, get on board, because the Amtrak Auto Train... Okay, Jay. Record-setting shipload of imported cars docks at Taichung Port. Okay, so I like to get a little bit global occasionally. Taichung, which we're talking Taiwan? Okay. A vehicle carrier vessel. It was loaded with 3,000 new cars worth $9.9 billion. Oh, that's Taiwan. What is that? Shoot. What's the money? Dang it, Jay. That's $350 million US dollars-ish. Docked at the port of Taichung, set a new record for the most valuable single shipload of imported cars in the 44-year history. That's pretty interesting. And I think, do I have a slide? It was like, oh yeah, check this out. Let's see, the ship, okay, 3,000 cars, 1,500 Mercedes-Benz, 1,300 BMW, 158 Mini Coopers, 2 camper vans, and 1 excavator. 3,000 cars, combined value, and they have to pay $4 billion in import duties and luxury taxes. Yo, that's almost half of the worth of the vehicles. That's intense. What's the tax saving strategy on that one? Electric van startup arrival aims to reshape vehicle production. Now, when I see a headline like this, I'm thinking, all right, well, we'll see. We'll see. But then again, we said that about Tesla. But that's, The company's microfactories need about 50 million in investment compared to a billion in conventional, and 10 of them could make as many as a traditional outlet. This is interesting. The business model what caught my eye. The company has 2 microfactories, northwest of London, and then 1 in South Carolina. So they're building microfactories to crank out this. So if you haul one of these, I want to know. Let me know. Let me know if you haul an arrival. Please. GMC dealers have to spend thousands to sell new Hummer all-electric pickup. About half of GM's 1,900 GMC dealers in the U.S. have agreed to invest up to $140,000 to sell the 2022 Hummer all-electric pickup. So that's half of the dealers are going to do the upgrade. And they're on board because the Hummer Edition 1 already has 10,000 pre-orders. How much is it? I think it's like $100 grand-ish. Something like that. So we were talking about the different shows, and so I just want to remind you guys, we want to see you if you have the time. This is the only evening show. Everything else takes place at noon Central Time. It says every other Wednesday, but pretty soon it's going to be every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at noon Central Time starting in January 2021. And, of course, every Thursday at noon. is Dispatching Live, where we look at the load boards, give our opinions, search advice. In fact, here's one. We're going to cover the switcheroo, as Sue calls it. We got scumbag. Okay, it's posted for $800. The customer, and then she calls. He says customers is willing to go to $550, but you posted it for $800. What are you doing? So we'll talk about that Thursday. And we usually do Cars on the Move every Friday at noon. Cars on the Move every Friday at noon. That's Jay and Ty connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. But we won't have one Friday because it's Christmas. So Ty's going to join us for the Christmas Eve special on Dispatching Live. We'll go for 1 hour, noon Central Time. So join us for that. It's always a hoot. And what do we got? Next Tuesday night is Wheel O Topics, which was the real reason I got that buzzer in the first place. And now I just hit it like crazy because it used to be, and then I upgrade. Now I've got okay. So anyways, join us for, if you've got a great topic that you want included on the December Wheel O Topics, I would love to have it. Go ahead and put it in the live chat. Email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I pick 10 topics. We spin the wheel. We hit the buzzer. It's going to be a good old time. And then, this is big news, y'all. Tuesday, the first Tuesday in 2021, Midwestern Car Carriers. The whole show featuring Midwestern Car Carriers, The Fleet, in Kansas City, Missouri. That is going to be awesome. We're going to be live with Midwestern, with the owners, with Joe Bercari. We've got somebody, I think, in brokering operations is going to join us. That's going to be a great show, so you're not going to want to miss that. And that is the website. Yes, you can go to mwcci.com. And they're also hiring. So we're going to be talking about that too. MWCCI is hiring. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. I am your host. My name is Jay. And I'm here every Thursday. Tuesday. Just I know it's kind of a crazy show. But again, we are alive. We are live. We are alive. We can participate. It's something that we talk about. And I used to ask the question all the time, what can we do to connect on a more regular basis? Now, I know there's some great Facebook threads where you can share information, but you can't get that real-time connection. And so that's what we do here every Tuesday night, is we connect, we share, and I don't know what else we do here, but we're definitely here and we're alive. So without further ado, here's what I need to do. I need to invite Zephrina. We got to get to some tax savings information. So go ahead and stick around because we have a lot more coming up next.
Even with all the tools at our disposal, there is still about 48 million empty miles in our network. Empty miles happen when driver Bob makes his delivery and returns home without freight. After all, there aren't cars just waiting for delivery on every corner. But there is non-automotive freight, and our network is already active around the country. So what if Bob could leverage his trailer to deliver something other than cars? We searched high and low to find a way to do this within regulations, and we found it. We can do this now with current equipment, and we're working on innovative new trailers that will deliver even more cars and more freight. This is a total game changer, and here's the math. We're already paying the cost of those 48 million empty miles, and with no revenue to show for it. We can make $1.50 to $2.50 in revenue per mile with dry freight. Since dry freight is not as specialized as automotive, backhauls can be found without adding miles to Bob's trip. This means Jack Cooper will make even more profit, and our drivers will make even more money. It also means fewer miles in America's delivery network and lower carbon emissions for the country. Call it a win-win-win-win. For driver Bob, for Jack Cooper, for America, and for our investors. We're Jack Cooper, driving innovation for the 21st century.
All right, and that is Jack Cooper. Jack Cooper is hiring. You can go to jackcooper.com/careers, find out more about that. And so thank you, Jack Cooper, for that message. And also, I saw in the live chat, I saw that, so there's talk about the auto train. It is very interesting, and it's probably an important thing to go ahead and do the math and take a look at that. So keep me posted what you guys see, because I just found out about it. I think it was today. It was either today or yesterday, so it's news to me. But without further ado, man, look at the time. It's 8:40, and I said approximate, but it turns out, well, I was just plain old right again. So we've got with us tonight to talk about tax savings. I am happy to introduce to you, in case you don't already know her, but you can connect with her on LinkedIn, Zephrina of Transportation CFO Inc. Zephrina, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can see you and I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Okay, I can see you, I can hear you. Please do say hello to the Auto Transport Intel audience and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I guess most of us in a hurry to get rid of this year, but we have very much more to come. So I'm excited to be there. I'm happy to that you invited me on there. It's an honor to be able to speak with your audience and let them know how they can legally save on taxes and what they can do in this last minute to be able to do that. So a little bit of a background. My name is Zephrina Casabon. We are a transportation CFO company, DBA ZMC Associates. I am a CPA, and with about 25 plus experience in business advisory services, tax consulting, and business financial consulting. Prior to me being in ZMC, I was the CFO for an international transportation company. So hence my reason of kind of niching in that area. We don't consider ourselves a traditional accountant. We consider ourselves non-traditional because our goals, we believe that all our clients come to us with unique needs, and we always try to find solutions for those unique needs. So today, one of my favorite topics, especially with trucking and transportation transporters, how you can save on taxes. And I'm excited to be able to get in and discuss it with you.
All right, we appreciate that. And, I'm glad that it's an important topic. That's why I kind of said in the beginning, I was just thinking, I tell the story how it seems like every time I meet a tax professional, I confess that I walked into a tax professional's office. This was years ago. I was totally unprepared. I thought I was good. I left with nothing. And I felt awful. But I learned something, and I'm never going to do that again. And it basically had to do with quarterly payments, right? Quarterly payments will, I don't know, what's the adjective? What happens if you don't make your quarterly payments?
You get penalized.
You get penalized. Yeah, I got whacked. Okay. But that's not all that we're talking about. You move the goalpost. You want to talk about tax savings, not just paying your taxes, but savings.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So how do we move into talking about tax savings? What are some things maybe that folks don't know or that some people are doing? What? Yeah.
Okay, so Jay, one of the main challenge I see with this industry, and I see many transportation companies, we service clients from 1 fleet to 200 fleets. So our main focus is that, and one of the main things I see, like you said, is the planning. They don't plan for tax savings, they don't plan to prepare their taxes, and they don't plan for compliance. And as you know, in this industry, they could go really fast, but without proper planning and foundation, you can go down really fast as well. And I can tell you from our experience, we had a client with like $7 million in revenue, and they got shut down within 3 months, 3 weeks, and that was DOT. But the IRS can do the same. So we have to make sure that we have proper planning in place. And before I came on, one of the things you asked is, what's the difference between tax prep and tax saving? That's a good question, right? Tax prep is what you do after tax, after the year ends. Whatever was done has already been done, and we're doing our tax prep to be able to be in compliance with the IRS. Everything has been done. You really cannot do much. Tax savings is the process you do before the end of the year to find strategies and plan to be able to see where you can legally save on taxes. And it's a process that takes into consideration your life, your business, and the requirements and the laws and what can you do. So that's the major difference. One you do before the end of the year and one you do after the end of the year. And in our practice, at the end of the year, like from October, November, December, our main goal is to be able to contact all of our clients and say, hey, where are you? And how is things coming along? We want to be able to proactively help you to plan before the end of the year. And what can you do now? So to answer your question, this is the main difference. And again, I wish a lot of transporters would do the preparing before, so that at the end they don't come in April and say, oh my goodness, what do I do? And the problem is a lot of planning has to be done. And I saw that when the new regulation come with the SBA loan, and a lot of people just went ahead and put things together and they didn't have taxes. They went ahead and just do a lot of expenses, and that hurt them. So there the planning comes in place very much.
Well, and I appreciate that. You're absolutely right, and you made me think, because I know that's what I try to do now. Ever since I got clocked, is I know that at the end of the year, what's done is done, and hopefully I did some preparation and focus. For example, knowing that you're going to pay taxes. If you see, the problem is when your income is really low, and I know this is one of those kind of different years, right? Whereas if your income took a hit, then you're just kind of hanging on. But if you're right, but if you're growing your business as you plan and hope to do, then as your profit margin, or rather as your revenue increases, your need to plan increases, so that you don't hit the end of the year and you're in that, because you likened, you were talking about kind of like the IRS and the DOT. In many instances, it's that moment where you're approaching the scale. Those last few minutes before you get there is when the panic really hits you.
Yeah.
Which is still not as much as that IRS panic level, right? The IRS panic level, can be. It could be kind of devastating. I guess the DOT, I don't know. That'd be a question for the live chat. Which panic level is higher? The DOT panic level or the IRS panic level? Go ahead and put that in the live chat, because I really do want to know. But, and then, so at the end of the year, that's your, tax prep, getting ready to just pay the piper. But the tax savings is looking ahead, and we always talk about knowing your cost. And you probably, I don't know if probably is the right word or the wrong. Ty says the DOT panic level is higher. I don't know if probably is the right word, but to build into your cost, paying some of your taxes, right? Tax payments. And how do you build that in? How do you know? How does one know? Yeah, see, IRS. Okay, IRS is ahead 2-1. I agree with that. How do you know how much to build into your cost structure to make the proper IRS payments? How do you know that? Do you have calculations?
Yeah, well, it again goes with the planning, because if you just say, okay, I'm making 100,000, as a rule of thumb, you have to put about 15 to 28% of that into something that you'll pay quarterly, right? But if you do the right planning, you might not even have to pay that much in quarterly. So you might have to get that money back, or you might pay less. So to answer your question, you have to put in some money aside. But again, the planning is important, because it's the amount you put aside will determine, hey, what I'm gonna do. And knowing your cost, knowing your income is always important, because that's how you build your business, right? And so we always advise our clients to make sure they know that and to have the planning done. So for us, before we even close the year, most of our clients know how much money they're going to pay taxes, if any. So that is very, very important.
So, what I want to do is, I know I want to bring in Ty to join us. He introduced us. He was the connector. Oh, I'll get that off the screen. Ty and I both, you know, right? How much time do you spend connecting? Because you, in your business, to grow your client list, right? Networking. How do you meet? Here's a question for you. How do you meet prospective clients, and what is their biggest? What's their main topic when you meet them?
For us, most of our clients come to referrals, because we consider us being the best in the industry. So a lot of people tell people about us. And like you say, they meet us on Indeed, or on LinkedIn, or on online. One of the main problem, like I said, is the problem with IRS. When they come to us, they're already sometimes in problems, and we are there to solve it, because we do a lot of tax resolution with the IRS. And just trying to avoid being on that stage would be good, because if they just stand on the right foundation, we walk with them. We say, hey, this is what you need to do. We don't ask you to do anything. We know you're busy. So this is what we'll put in place for you. You take a picture of your receipt, you send it to us, we do the planning for you and all of that. And most people, that's what they need. And again, the main issue they have is not planning, and they come to you, either they're trying to get a loan, or they owe the IRS, and that is what we've seen happening all the time.
Right, and it's not, so they're not necessarily shuffling in with a box full of receipts. It's more of, man, I got a
problem.
I got a problem.
And it's like, how do I get the receipts? How do I get costs?
Yeah.
What can I deduct at that time? But usually it's too late, but at the same time, it's never too late to be able to go back to doing the right thing. And that is planning and making sure you use the right strategy to save thousands in taxes, thousands. And if you do it right, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Ty?
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you. What's going on?
Just getting the lighting and the mic right.
Right? I know, right? Well, it's the funny thing. The more video you make, yeah, then the more, like, I obsess over that stuff. And so I'm like, Kimberly, how's the audio? You know, what's going on? How's my hair? You know, how's my breath? Well, luckily, that doesn't matter.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about tonight's show. I've been thinking about it all day. And the reason I'm excited about it, let me put it in context. What we're talking about here, I was thinking, man, you guys always talk about car dealers. You guys always talk about everything I don't want to talk about, right? Well, the reason we talk about everything you don't want to talk about is because we talk about how to build a business and how for the business to be successful. What you're about to see, okay, what you already saw, Zephrina, she's talking about tax planning, tax, everything, taxes, right? Tax savings, tax planning. And one of the things that is you're a small guy and you're starting out, you know, you take a chunk of money. What do I always say? Can you live 6 months without a check? There you go. All right. So that means you should have a significant amount of money laying around somewhere that you're going to go take and you're going to invest in equipment. right? So let's talk about depreciation. Let's talk about those kinds of things, accelerated depreciation, right? Zephrina, are you there?
Yes, I am,
She's
and I'm
here.
ready
She's a
to
good
talk about.
listener. She's a very good listener.
Well, so as we talk about these things, what you'll see next when we bring Chris on, you'll start to see how these things all connect. So as we start out and we're small, we definitely need to get with Zephrina, find an accountant, find a business accountant, find somebody CPA, find somebody that understands. If you don't have one, get a hold of Zephrina. Okay, that's why she's here. She's here to promote her business. She's here to show us that she really does this every day. And as we start looking at that, the goal is we build a business, we build a lane, we build something that works and starts to generate money. You know, I don't know what it costs. What's your hourly rate, Zephrina?
Well, we don't charge per hour. As I said, we kind of look at your situation. Each person is unique, and we customize a plan for them and charge them a fixed rate based on their needs. So we don't charge per hour. Um, our consultation is free, so you come in and we look at what you have an in-depth diagnostic of where you are at, and then see what you need and provide you with solutions and what it will cost you to get where you want to be.
Okay, that's good. So here's another good question for probably a lot of people in our audience, which is, I live in Missouri. Where do you live?
We're in Georgia, but we service clients throughout the US, so that is not an issue. We service clients throughout the US.
Okay, good. So if somebody's watching this and somebody's like, yeah, I probably should talk to an accountant, they can call you, right?
Definitely, they can call us and just set up an appointment. Also, I'll send my link for my calendar in there, and you can set up an appointment and just have a chat as to where they are, and we can determine what needs to be done and help them with solutions, give them solutions as to what they need to do.
Right.
Hey, I'm sorry. Is that at zmcassociates.com? Is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to
You
make
can
sure.
get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so another thing that I like, as you build your business, as you start making money, as you start doing these things, I would always try to get with my accountant at least 4 times a year before the end of the year. I like to plan, I like to strategize, because my goal is to make a lot of money. And if I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm probably going to need to have a lot of write-offs, right?
Yeah, so your goal as a business person, I always tell my clients it's connected, right? So you start a business, you have the proper foundation, then you start making money, then you say, okay, what to have a plan in place as to how, because all of us work hard, right? You work hard, I work hard, and we have to pay taxes, that's for sure. But the question is, how can you save and how can you minimize that amount? So then you come up with, you start your business, you make money. How can I save on that taxes? And then using that money to build my retirement, to build my net worth in order for me to be able to leave or retire the way I want to. How many people we know in that industry that just work and work and work, and at the end, they have nothing to show for it? So I kind of like your show in bringing in the estate planning and, retirement into that, because all of that kind of tie together in a business, because what we in a business for, most times we don't pay ourselves as much as we would work for somebody. So we have to find some way to be able to show something for it. So you're right. And there are a lot of strategies, a lot of write-offs you could do legally if you plan properly.
Right. And, as we start building our business, as we start acquiring assets, we start building wealth, that's where we start shifting over into strategies. For example, one of my favorites was putting my kids on payroll, right?
Yeah.
Let's
That's
talk.
A very good one.
Yeah. So this again is why we bring on Zephrina. This is why we bring on Chris, and I'm really excited about talking to Chris. Chris's strategies are really cool because the thing of it is we're in a really unique industry, and it's an industry that can really generate a lot of revenue, a lot of money, a lot of wealth, but it can also really go the wrong way quick, right? And so that's where you'll see where the accountant, the estate planning attorney, and then you bring in Lionel Insurance and Brian DOT, you'll start to see how these things blend together. And it's really critical, guys. Brian Pepson, he's in the audience. Great guy, been with us forever. And his business is growing. It really is. It's getting bigger. I said earlier, I said, dude, you're going to be ready for a Stinger. That's a 9-car hauler on one truck, one trailer before the end of next year. And I thought, man, if anybody's going to need to be talking to the accountant, talking to the attorney, getting things set up, it's going to be guys that are building their business just like Brian, growing. So anyway, I'm real excited, and thank you so much.
And so the email invite already went out to Chris, so he's going to join us next. But we do have a live chat question from Devin at Victory Lap Transport. Can you ask Zephrina for tips for a startup business, startup expenses, but generating very little revenue that first year?
Devin, one of the things is depends on the startup, right? So you have, as a transporter, I would assume you would have your equipment, which is your truck, your trailers. Hi, Devin, how are you? That you can deduct it that you purchased it. So that I'll go through a few strategies, but you can deduct that entire amount the year you purchase it. However, if you do not have the income for it, you would have to carry it forward, and you can carry it forward indefinitely. But the reason it's important the year you do it is that's the year you can deduct the whole amount up to $500,000 per equipment. So you can use that if you have like your legal fees or whatever, all of that can be deducted. Startup cost is $500,000. Most times you don't see that in like illegal fees or whatever. So that puts you in a good position if you can do this, what you have the first year, to carry forward to your second year, your third year. So as you have income, you can take out those deductions by carrying them forward.
I'm going to make another comment before I do. So Chris, can you see us and hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, coming through loud and clear. Great. Chris is joining us. Now, Chris, you focus on estate planning. Is that right?
That's correct. And I just want to say that if people don't want to hire someone like Zephrina, don't worry, because we can get lawyers to get you out of jail eventually.
Thank you.
If you don't plan ahead.
And
it's all,
man.
And it might be tax deductible.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
Awesome.
I was just going to say on the deductions, this is helpful when you talk to just one of the many benefits of talking to a tax professional, but also you get to learn that those deductions that you've spent so much time on may have changed. And so you've got to keep up with what's happening with what you can deduct. And then on your truck and on your equipment, does amortization also come into play there? Is there
your depreciation? So with the new CARE Act that started in 2018, right now you have numerous ways you can do depreciation, and one of the main one is bonus depreciation. Prior to, they had bonus depreciation only on new items, new equipment. Now you can actually have it on used, and you can go into a loss with that. They still have their 178 depreciation, which also help you as well. But definitely, I mean, this is one of the main things that truckers have, transportation have. So you have to make sure you have somebody that can assist you with that. And to back Chris, the IRS is actually paying you to get services from professional services. So you need to use it, because my fees, Chris fees, those are tax deductible, 100%.
Professional fees, absolutely. Whereas like dry cleaning, that went away. Not that I had any dry cleaning this year.
Right, that went away. Yes.
Yeah, what a bummer. That was a bummer. So, All right. Well, listen. All right, Chris. Please tell us more about. You're an attorney, and you have a law firm. Please tell us more about that.
Well, I feel like as an attorney, I should start out with a disclaimer first. So, the law is very state specific, and so I want to make sure people realize that I do not practice in all 50 states. And my main office is in Missouri, and then we have offices also in Arkansas, and I'm licensed in Texas just for kicks. And if they ever secede, I was born there, so I guess I'll do citizenship. But my office is pretty much, or my practice is pretty much estate planning. I also help I do like wills and trusts, powers of attorney, things that are really my heart really went out to earlier in the call this evening, or in this event this evening. There was someone who had a GoFundMe account.
Yes.
And I mean, of course, I live a boring life, so my mind immediately went to all the legal problems that could occur in that if you haven't planned ahead. Just like Zephrina's head immediately goes to all the tax problems you can have if you don't plan ahead, or all the tax savings you cannot get. I immediately thought of, oh my gosh, I hope they've got powers of attorney, because that's something fairly simple from a legal standpoint, but usually not done, and that's too bad.
Yeah, no, and that's a good power of attorney. Great example of something that if you focus on it and you coordinate it, you can get that done. You can get that taken care of in probably an afternoon or less, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, I was thinking, gosh, if I can't practice in all 50 states, or I would say, hey, call my office. We'll do a Zoom call. Well, if you are in a state like what we practice in, if you go to our website, protectingwealth.com, you'll see the states that we're licensed in, and we can do a Zoom call, we can do a phone call, but that's a quick document that we could do, and it can be very, very powerful. Hey, look at that. There it is. There's the website. So if you can peruse around there, we've got different resources on estate planning. Those are the different practice areas. If you go to the contact us, I think you can actually click and schedule something, and it immediately pulls up like a 15-minute appointment online. We use by the way, that's pretty cool internet tool, that Calendly there.
Calendly is amazing.
It is. It's if you don't have that, I think from a business standpoint, if you don't have that in your website, that's something that's not that expensive, and it's kind of nifty to be able to plan your work and then work your plan.
Yeah, no, and you got a great website, lots of information up here. So, in fact, one could really start to think about all the different things, whether it's like a life insurance, or whether it's some documents that there's the legal arena. It seems like it's easy to avoid until you have to, and then you can't get a hold of everybody, and you're playing catch up in ridiculous fashion. Am I close?
Yeah, I mean, there's some people. I had an insurance company one time say, "Hey, Chris, how can we get more of our policyholders to come see you?" And I said, "Send them on vacation," because everybody thinks you're going to die on vacation. But the other thing that motivates people to plan ahead is a train wreck. If you see a train wreck happen in your family or a friend, you're like, "Whoa, I do not want that to happen to me." And so, I get lots of people that call in. It's like, I don't want my kids to have to go through that.
Wow.
And if for a moment, do you allow cynicism on this show? I would like to be a bit cynical and say, I have told business owners before, hey, what if I could tell you that your biggest competitor was going to become mentally incapacitated, and all their assets are going to be a public record and you can go down and look at all their assets, what the values are, what the liabilities are. You get a really good look into their business. Do you think that would be helpful? And they're like, oh my gosh, they get this evil grin on their face. And I'm like, dude, if that happened to you, your competitor could go do that to you.
Wow.
So, and a power of attorney eliminates that almost. I mean, it really reduces your chance to end up, in probate court, because probate courts are not just, for when you die. It is for, and you only die once, but you can become mentally incapacitated, more than once. You're one accident away from having that. That's a nice cheery thought, but
yeah, no, that is cheery. But probate, nothing cheery about probate.
No. I mean, probate is a lawsuit you file against yourself for the protection of your creditors.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. I mean, lawyers get paid out of probate. I know that was a big concern that all of you had, is how am I going to pay the lawyer? Well, just like, legal fees and accounting fees are tax deductible because, lawyers are involved in the political process. We make sure that if there is a probate that, we're one of the priority claims. Attorneys get paid, the courts get paid, creditors get paid, and then if there's any money left over, then we get around to helping the family.
Well, that's why in the class action, I mean, you're at the end of the trough, and there's 1,000 of you. So,
the actions or the attorneys?
The actions.
Yeah, I was going to say the attorneys
the attorneys are at the front of the trough. They're right at the spigot.
I know, it's the 99% that ruin it for the 1% of us. Yes, we make sure that we.
Did he say that live?
I did say that. No. Luckily, this is not recorded.
Oh, yeah, right. Luckily, it's not live to archive.
Wow.
So, all right. So, what can? I'm pretty sure you've got somebody's attention. Just as Devin with Victory Lap asked the question, what about can the startup company? What would you say? What quick and easy tips would you say? Listen, here's something you should do. Would it be power of attorney? What would be your beginner advice to someone that just hasn't been thinking about this estate?
So if somebody,
wait. Sorry.
Ty hasn't talked yet. Yes, Ty. Let's have you get some FaceTime here.
Put this in context, okay? This is not the most easy business, and sometimes you can actually get hurt, right? And sometimes we can actually hurt other people. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
All right, so the first thing I would do, and a close second, by the way, would be to get someone like Zephrina before we pull the trigger on what I'm going to say next, which is the first thing you want to do is I wouldn't even think about doing a business without inside some type of structure, an entity like an LLC or a corporation, okay? And like I said, a close second would be once we figure out what would be the right structure is, okay, when we set this up, we want to make sure we coordinate from a tax standpoint as well, because sometimes it makes sense to have a one owner. Sometimes it makes sense to operate as a partnership. Other times it makes sense to operate as a corporation. Okay, well, you're going to operate as a corporation. Are you an S Corp or are you a C Corp? These are things that we need someone like Zephrina to be on board and say, okay, I'm coming from this vantage point. You're coming from this vantage point. And as the client, you're not just sitting on this, going around talking to professionals thinking that we're all telling you something that's, different. It's like, no, we're just coming from different points of reference. So I think it's important, even from the outset, to get a good team established. Whether that, you're probably your banker, your insurance agent, your accountant, and your attorney.
I like that. The dream team.
I don't know if that's it's a team that keeps you from having nightmares. I'll say
the anti-nightmare team, maybe.
Well, there's stuff like the living trust, putting assets into living trust, and in some of those assets, real estate, right? Trucks. We've talked about putting trucks in different things, right?
Yeah, and so what Ty is leading me down, if you guys don't know, he is leading me into certain areas. Let's hope it's safe. But asset protection is kind of like an onion, okay? And so if you want to have compartments and you want to have layers, and so if you have an incident where somebody's coming after you, you'd like to have more layers rather than few, because you want them to have to peel back that insurance layer. Then you want them to have to peel back that entity, whether it's a corporation or LLC. Then you want to peel back maybe some other, asset protection strategies. And so you don't want to just say, oh, I've got insurance, I don't need anything else, or I have a corporation, I don't need insurance. No, there's no silver bullet. It's a layers, and you want to have lots of those. And one of the things that Ty is going to then ask me a question if I don't say this, which is if you own your own office or your own I don't know, your building and yard where you park things, maybe you want that in an entity, and then it pays rent to the dangerous entity, which is where you're running your operation, and that's a different entity. And those are the type of things. And there's tax advantages, again, which is why you want to talk with your attorney. You also want to talk with your insurance, because you want to make sure you've got coverage for this and coverage for that. And you want to talk to someone like Zephrina to make sure that you've got the tax strategy down.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's everything Chris just said, guys. That's like amazing, and it works. It really does. So one of the things that as we start growing, we start making money. What happens if, we hire a driver and the driver runs over some people and doesn't kill them? And see, this is, I think Chris maybe even told me this a long time ago. It sounds terrible, but what is it, Chris? You're probably better off that they die than they are incapacitated for the rest of their life. Because
I cannot confirm or deny that statement was ever made by me.
That's right.
Last week.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, I love Chris. Yeah. Just the best.
If you run over him, make sure you back up.
Yeah.
That's not good legal advice.
Right.
That is joke. That's for entertainment
That was
purposes
a fortune cookie once. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Chris is laying it out right, guys. I mean, you've got, the thing is that we live in a litigious society, and people will try to take whatever they think you have, right? Or somebody is going to come after it. And if we work as hard as we do, because who's the guy on Friday every day standing in the transport parking lot rolling around saying, this is not the easiest job in the world? It's not. At the same time, we had Robbie on last week. Robbie's talking about how, man, there are a lot of benefits. And the guy can make a lot of money in this industry. As a driver, as an owner operator, whatever you are in this business, you do have the ability to generate a lot of revenue. And you have the ability to build a fleet, right? And as you kind of sort through this and you figure it out, that's why Jay's built this show and he's done an incredible job with it, is because what we're trying to show you guys here is the importance and the value of really focusing on you and your business. That's important. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, Chris, it's so important because last week I had a client and he had an office and somebody sued him for not having a rails on the office, and it didn't affect them at all. And so he didn't have any protection, like you said, and he was like in a panic attack because he owned the property free and clear. So I think people too, actually, these things attract people, and not having a protection is so important, is so bad. Like, I don't know how they sleep at night without that.
Well, and you get like general liability. That's why we hear that, right? If you're working at a location on a somewhat regular basis, I don't know if it's by the kind of the broker carrier or who they have contracts with, but that general liability comes up. And when it does, I mean, to us, it's just a cost. But you're right, Chris, you could say, well, I know exactly why they have that in place.
Yeah, I would say here's a cheap legal tip, at least in Missouri, if someone comes on your property and they're a trespasser, I mean, you have like, you've got great law to say you owe them no duty whatsoever. So if they hurt themselves, they're a trespasser, we shouldn't have been there. I mean, it's, that's pretty good. But to make them a trespasser, buy yourself a $2.50 sign that says no trespassing, because if that's not there, they're not a trespasser. They didn't know. Are you kidding me? I mean, put those signs up. They don't cost much, but they may pay great dividends.
Wow.
I don't sell those, by the way, but Ty probably does.
What an
I got a whole pocket full of them.
What an amazing topic. Proper signage, right? Wow. Because we say that, why are there's, we see a lot of dumb labels. Well, there's a reason.
I'm thinking of a comedian that I cannot quote any of his material, where he says, I'm going to clean it up for this recorded session, where he's like, we ought to have a "Are you kidding me?" defense, where the lawyer walks in, looks at the judge, looks at the plaintiff, looks back at the judge and go, "Are you kidding me?" I'm a ski manufacturer. I didn't know he was going to, try to ski off his roof. Nope, you got to put a label on there. You should not, try to deliver birth with skis. Because someone will try it.
It's so true, man. It's great, man. That's what other. Okay, so you did signage. You just threw it out there. What other cards in your deck do you have at the ready? I want some more. This is great.
Hang on.
Well, I like to, and I've known Ty for a long time, and I can't talk about some of the things because I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations have run, but I don't know.
It's okay. You can talk about it, man.
No, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah. And while we're doing that too, I'm gonna invite. Who do we have? We have Brian, and we have Lionel. All right. So while we're doing that, we'll get them in here because we're gonna broaden the conversation. You mentioned insurance.
Yeah.
And we're talking regulations. We're gonna bring them in too. But okay, so. Yeah, so what's another one while they're coming in here? What's another good topic? Either someone will post something in the live chat, or we'll come up with it. But we still have a lot more time, and thank you guys for taking the time. By the way, this is awesome.
Yeah. Here, one thing that you're tempted. I understand when you're first starting out, it's like, you gotta watch your expenses, okay? And so there may be 20 things you need to do, and you can only do 5. So you do the first 5, okay? Then I would say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when we start getting to that, one of those things is probably, what are the contracts that you have with employees? What are the contracts that you have with other people? And looking at that and going, what could go wrong? And let me tell you, that is what lawyers, we eat, sleep, drink. What is everything that can go wrong? And so that would be something I think, and it's very state specific. So you want to get, you want to talk to your attorney and make sure, and at that point you might need to, like if you ask me to do that, somebody texted me some contract the other night, good friend of mine. I looked at it and he's like, just tell me what you think. I'm like, here's what I think. I don't know what to look at because I don't do this, but I know somebody who does. And so, your general attorney may need to refer certain things out to people to fix that part of your potential exposure. Because Ty kind of alluded to that with, employees, your best employee, employees are kind of like, sometimes some employees are like scaffolding. They're there, they help you build the wall, and then it's like, why do we have this scaffolding here? We need to get this scaffolding somewhere else and release these wonderful people to the free marketplace of labor. There are right ways to do that won't, opening you up to litigation.
That's right.
All right. So we now have with us. Okay, we got Brian and Lionel. Now, Lionel, take a look at Ty. What is? I've seen that. We've been there before. Ty, he's sideways.
Oh, you got to, on mine, you got to go forward and then back. So hold it up straight and then tilt it again.
And does he need to log out and come back in?
Oh, no. There. Oh, you want him to go side? Okay, so he's up straight.
Sideways. Yeah.
Now it goes.
It's funny, the technology coming in, right?
Hey, Lionel.
But he looks great, man.
Hey.
Lionel looked great, dude. What's going on?
Man.
How's everyone?
Dude. Brian.
Good.
Everybody's here.
All this profane language I'm hearing. All these cuss words. DOT, IRS.
Right?
IRS and attorney.
Oh, man.
Lionel's out of, where are you out of, Lionel?
Pennsylvania.
I was just saying, I thought it was
I'm right
PA.
below Brian here.
And then there's another Brian Pepson in the audience. He's a Pennsylvania guy too, I think.
Yes, he is.
So what, Lionel, you do insurance for car haulers, is that right?
Yes, indeed.
Do you do life insurance, by the way?
Yes, indeed.
Woo! Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug it now. My rule of thumb was whatever I'm in debt, I got 5 times that in life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
What's your rule of thumb, Lionel?
Well, we do something called something I refer to as a dime. It's death, income, mortgage, and earnings. All 4 of those are basically customized to a family, meaning the need based on if you want your kids to go to college, you want to pay the mortgage off for your wife, or your wife wants to pay it off for the husband, vice versa, to cover the expenses for the death, and the income for the surviving person to help them survive for the number of years that they're going to have to support their family, at least to the time that the kids get out of college.
Wow. That's good. I like that. And I also like that you sell life insurance. I honestly didn't know that. That's awesome.
I like those rules of thumb. You know,
DIME.
It's a way to, because sometimes these topics, they're hard to absorb. And so having rules of thumb, of ratios, percentages, it's good. So thank you for that, Lionel. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. But you
Lionel and Chris connect too, don't you guys?
Yeah,
Attorneys,
all the way from
insurance.
Zephrina all the way down to me, because, guys, I just want to reference this and preface this because the foundation of all of us together are giving the auto hauler a chance to be successful in this. And success is sometimes not even measured under the circumspect of being profitable. Success may be having the correct insurance in place in case something does happen, or having the correct attorney to advise you with the right information if something happens. It's not always financial. And the number one thing about this is you must remember, this is for all the truck drivers that are out there, auto haulers, freight, it doesn't matter. When you put that DOT number on the side of your truck or that MC number, don't just look at it as a number. It is a bullseye, because the requirement to start off is a $1 million general liability just in case you hit somebody out on the road. And you must assume that there are some unscrupulous people out there who understand that when you step on the gas and go out on your first mile.
Yeah.
So, this is a perfect match. You need to cover your taxes. You need to cover with your attorney for your legal issues. And I'm here at the back end, cover your assets with the insurance.
It's good.
You must. If all 3 of those fall in line, that's your formula for success. Just not the profits that you make from the business, because things happen.
That's good. And then we got Brian. Brian falls in here too, because Brian, I love Brian. Brian's the guy. I don't want to mess with it. Give it to Brian. What do you do?
Thanks, Ty. I handle the message you throw at me. I handle the Federal Motor Carrier, the DOT as we call it, compliance issues. I also happen to be a health, safety, and environment person, so I do OSHA, I do environmental compliance as well, but that's not the scope of this show. But I do DOT compliance, so I keep you legal to help allow Lionel's company to do their job. Because one of the things you have with your insurance when we're not compliant, that gives your insurance underwriter a way to escape out of paying that claim. They can say, oh, wait a minute, you contributed to this and we're not covering for your gross negligence. So that is part of being compliant. It keeps your target down. It keeps your insurance premiums down so you can afford this insurance. But really, it keeps you under the radar so DOT leaves you alone. They're going to go after the guys that are the low-hanging fruit. And compliance is key to staying out of court, staying out of trouble, keeping your assets. So that I saw in the live chat there was someone asking about piercing the corporate veil. Well, if we're not compliant, we can say, well, you were the operator and you're the owner of the company, so you know what you did was wrong. I don't care how well you've got your system set up for protecting your assets. Well, Mr. Truck Driver, you also were operating that truck, so we're still going to come after you personally. And I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice to that point, but that is something that happens quite frequently. I see that in court all the time as an expert witness, where we're here to try to prove that the driver wasn't actually liable for his actions, or in some cases prove that he was, to help maximize the settlements that we can get. So again, staying compliant, staying legal is absolutely paramount to success in today's environment.
And we really have. So here we do have a dream team. I mean, we've got tax, estate, regulations, insurance.
Wow.
What
pretty impressive.
This is awesome, man.
This really is impressive, guys. You guys out here watching this, I'm telling you, this is what you get when you get serious about your business. Okay, it might not be these people, but I'm telling you, you need these people in your business. It will make a difference. And the crazy part, the real crazy part to me is, you know, okay, well, what's Zephrina costs? Okay, what's Lionel costs? What's Brian costs? What's Chris costs? I haven't heard anybody say anything right now. I've heard everybody say, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can help you out. Let's see what we can do for you. I don't know how many people I send to Lionel. I don't know how many people I send to Brian.
Lionel just got another referral. I think Brian might have too.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to keep going, Ty. Keep going. I'm just going to share their websites.
No, I think Lionel was going to talk, weren't you, Lionel?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the people you are calling, I do lead them in the right way, and have them being serious about their business themselves. I also called Brian, and I set Brian up to I hope they're calling him after I get done talking to him. And, try to keep it in the loop, because, like I said, I understand the importance of foundation. Each picture that you see up on the screen right now, I would picture it as a brick in the foundation of your business in your building. So just imagine every person there is a brick, and you need those bricks at the bottom to allow your business to stand tall and stand for a long time.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Chris, what do you think? Where did you go? There you are.
He's listening.
I couldn't agree more with Lionel. I mean, having good insurance, having it placed correctly, having all those things in place. I mean, when Brian said something about having the DOT number, and that immediately, that's a $1 million price tag going down the road. And I think they teach that now in first year law school. I'm not sure about that, but it is. It goes through a lawyer's mind before they do something for their, for their greedy client. I mean, lawyers aren't greedy, but their clients are tremendously that way. Is there insurance? And you want to make sure you have insurance, but you also want to make sure you've got your, as Brian was talking about, you want to have your, your nose clean. You want to have your T's crossed, your I's dotted, and then they move on to, they want low-hanging fruit. Okay? Because lawyers are like anybody else. They're lazy. They want, Brian, that was laughing way too hard. They want the easy case, and they want, if you're lucky, you peel that one layer and they move on, or they look at it and they're like, man, this is going to be hard to crack. I'm going to move off to somebody else. There's lots of other people out there that aren't, as careful, and it'll be easier to get to them.
Well, and everybody gets named when there's a lawsuit, which isn't if, it's when. When there's a lawsuit, everyone gets named. That's pretty much the starting point, I think. And I was watching, it was last night. It was either during the game or in the ESPN breakdown of the game, go to commercial break, and it was, we are the best attorneys, law firm in the city when it comes to auto accidents. And, I mean, right away I'm thinking, yeah, there's...
Well, the humility that the legal profession exudes is amazing.
Well, think about this, Jay. You saw that advertisement for auto liability accidents. Your average automobile policy, they carry limits somewhere in the $100,000 range. We're 10 times that. And if my local congressman from Pennsylvania, Congressman Cartwright, has his way, he and the Trial Attorneys Association will soon have 4.3 to 5 million in minimum insurance liability as a trucking company. So we could easily go to court and something for 10% of the policy and still have a $500,000 settlement, which is nothing to blink at. Everybody walks away with a couple $100,000 in their pocket. We're all happy. So most of the time, your insurance company will settle stuff for 10, 20% of the policy, whether you're right or wrong, just to make it go away. So we are giant pig banks out here for people that want to file frivolous lawsuits.
So, Zephrina, do you also include, I don't know, random legal issues into your tax saving strategy? Can you? I don't know.
One of Chris touched on that a bit. One of the main thing and foundation of any business is choosing the right entity. And we work with attorneys. We're not attorneys, so we work with them on the entity registration, but we work with the client and making sure they choose the right entity. And that comes with your foundation, but it's so important for tax purposes and savings, because you can have one entity, and I see so many people, like there was a statistic over 300 and some people have the wrong entity. And I mean, it's so important to try to use the right entity. And we work with attorneys to put those entities together, but we work with the clients to make sure that whatever they select, whether it's an LLC, whether it's an S corporation, C corporation, partnership, is the right entity. Because for the state, you have one or two. You're an LLC or corporation. But for IRS, the tax treatment is different, and they have so many different entity structure that you must make sure you take advantage. One is the foundation for your business. And if you choose the wrong one, you can either pay a whole bunch of taxes, you can get sued, or you can get audited. So it's very important. So yes, we do implement a lot of that into our services. And when our clients come, like Chris, estate planning, asset protection is so big, because you work so hard and people sue for anything, anywhere they sue. So we want to make sure that our clients are always protected. You see so many big trucking companies, transportation companies have their assets in their operating business. That's a risk. That's very high risk, and we work with attorneys to do that. And Chris, do you work in Georgia?
I guess it depends. I have Georgia used to have really good limited partnership law back when we would try to save people on estate taxes when the estate tax exemptions were lower, and we would use Georgia limited partnerships actually. But that's as Brian said, that's a topic for another day.
Okay. Well, I definitely
but I did think about.
Because I have a few clients that I actually working on as we doing year ends, and like, okay, you really at risk, and we need to do something about that.
Yeah, I know some attorneys in Georgia, so we can talk offline.
Okay, definitely. But Chris, it's like what you do is so much important, more important than a criminal attorney. You know, I would see that.
Hopefully. You know, sometimes I'm the first attorney people have, and I said the reason why you have assets is because you made some good decisions along the way, and that's why I'm your attorney. A lot of them are not business owners, or if they are and they haven't met an attorney yet, they're what we call lucky.
Yeah, and everybody's afraid of attorneys and accountants, and they need us, right?
I'm intimidating. I mean, look at this white hair. Come on.
At least you have hair left.
Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. I didn't. There's only a few perfect heads, right?
All right, Ty, what else because we have the dream team here with us. Oh, here's a note. I saw someone mention PPP. This is 2010. This is 2020, the year of PPP. Who's got something to say about PPP?
I just published an article on it.
PPP.
You did? You just published an article?
Yes, I did on the Tow Industry Week website for the towing industry. But I don't want to steal Zephrina's thunder on this. I can summarize my article in about 3 seconds. Be cautious to use it properly so that it does get forgiven as it should be. And there are tax implications depending upon what you spend it on. You may lose your deductions. So consult your tax provider to make sure that you spend it properly. Same thing with the EIDL loans.
I was just going to say, because what we're going to see is a slew of, no, you did it wrong, right?
Yeah.
When are we going to see that?
Important.
Yeah, Zephrina.
And that's so important. One thing I'll say is be careful of people that come to you and claim they can get you money for that, because we've seen a lot of fraudulent applications going out there. People I had a client that called me and say, somebody want me to be an employee. What should I do? They're going to pay me $10.99. So people setting up businesses to be able to defraud the government on that. And I have clients that people that come and say, how can I be forgiven? And you look at them, they don't have any employees. And somebody did a fake 941 for them and submit it to the SBA. That will come back to them because now they have no employees and they put some fraudulent 941 payroll information, get $250,000, and that will come back with the forgiven. So Brian is right. And that is a big thing with that. People fraudulently doing stuff to make money. And you have to be careful. If you're a business owner and you have payroll, you will consider for it. If you're an S corporation, they will not take a K1. You have to have payroll because S corporation, you must have payroll. If you're self-employed, you can do it, but it will be based on your Schedule C self-employed. So if you're getting a 1099 or if you have 1099 contractors, you're not going to qualify for it. Your contractors will be qualifying for it. So you got to be very careful because the first round was a mess and people suffering and seeing that now. And I think the second round, as to what they're going to have, I'm not sure, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of people trying to, do fraudulent things as well.
That's because did that just get approved?
Well, they didn't agree. They agree on it, but it hasn't gotten approved yet.
Okay.
But it's expected to.
Yeah, it's expected.
And then they have
okay.
the $284 billion coming out for the PPP. So like Brian said, you have to make sure you have the expenses. You have to make sure you use it. And so you have the backup to get it forgiven, because if not, it's going to be a loan.
You don't want to end up with taxable income you are not expecting in a year that you're already hurting financially.
Yeah.
So I saw an interesting thing on LinkedIn. Somebody did the calculation. You take did you see this? Who saw this? You have the $1 trillion package divided by X number of people, and it was like 6,000, but we're only getting 600. I don't know. But anyways, it is really interesting when you look at the numbers, then you hear about, or how about news stories where you hear so-and-so got 4 million, and you're like, but I thought that guy was rich.
Yep.
So am I the only one that pays attention to those news stories? No, I'm not.
No.
I know I'm not. In fact, definitely gets your attention, but seriously is that, yeah, you could end up with another set of problems, and then if you let that go and don't pay attention, then you got the penalties there.
Yep. So you have to be very careful. And we assist quite a few. I mean, right now people need it because the pandemic, everybody's suffering, but you have to be careful. And the last one, we assist probably 500 owner operators, to between 500 to 800 get through with those loans and PPP. So we were very familiar with it. And, we really follow the SBA. We're a consultant with them. So it's very important you do it right and you do it the right way.
The SBA loans. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of, the SBA. So, I mean, there's really a lot there, in addition to everything else that we already had. And it's hard. It's tough to think. You're here. You're in a financial jam as it is. But it could still get worse if you don't. Right? It's right. I mean,
you're up. It can get worse.
Right. Yeah. It can get. And I saw it in there earlier. They both steal from people. That was like one of the. Man, you're damned if you do. And Brian Pepsin had one. How about a rated insurance company versus a non-rated insurance company as a topic? Anybody want this hot potato?
If I was going to sue an insurance company, I would want to sue a rated one because they probably have more money.
And then also on rated against non-rated, some of the customers won't take that policy.
Right.
So be careful. Because sometimes cheap is cheap.
Yeah, let's say the non-rated insurance is the Chinese product versus the American product.
Well, damn. I'll tell you, it's funny because I don't know if anybody saw this, but I made the Real Suspicious Insurance video ad, and I ran it last week. And what it was is Candy was something had made her day, so she leaves me a voicemail, which is this fake Real Suspicious Insurance ad audio. Well, I can't just listen to it. I've got to make a video ad. I put video to it. All right, I've teased it up. Here we go. Now, you guys aren't going to be able to see this, but here we go. 30 seconds later.
At Real Suspicious Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to deny anything, even an out-of-diesel disgruntled quadra-car hauling team. So get derailed with no cargo coverage. At Real Suspicious Insurance, we know a thing or two and deny a claim or three. No cargo coverage. Dum 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 dum.
Now, here's what's so funny. Only the audience could see that. Nobody in the panel got to see it. But everybody else, And so what you can do is, well, you'll just have to go back and watch the whole thing again. But
there you go.
For relativity, we're 1 hour and 50 minutes into the show, so you can skip to 1 hour 50 and watch this 30-second real suspicious insurance ad. And the tagline is "No cargo coverage."
Can I bring something up, Jay, for Zephrina to expand upon that might help some of our people
Yes.
with money here in the last couple days of 2020?
Yes, please.
Can you expand upon the Section 179 deductions? I'm sure there's a lot of people that have bought or financed trucks this year, either after an accident, some other failure, or the lucky ones that are expanding their business. We got a couple days left. It's a shameless plug because everyone that watches knows I also sell tow trucks and car haulers. And let's go ahead and sell some trucks or some software or some other business equipment.
I like it. Making it rain.
Very good question,
yeah.
Brian. The 178 depreciation, and now they have the bonus from the CARE Act that came in. That's kind of the same, but with the bonus depreciation, you can deduct use as well, and you can go over. So if you purchase a truck and equipment up to $500,000, the year you put it into business, into service, you can deduct that full amount legally. And that can wipe off your income. And if it's not enough income, you can carry it forward to the next year. Now, the difference between the two is the 179, you cannot create a loss. So you can deduct the total amount of the asset. And the good thing about it is you don't have to be buying it cash. So you can take a loan to get it, and you can still get the depreciation on there. And so the 178, you can deduct it, and it's up to what your income is. So if you have 10,000 in net income, the difference you can carry forward. With the bonus, you can deduct everything and create a loss. But with one of the challenge with the bonus is that each state has their own limitation. And so here you can have a challenge with it. So with our clients, we always balance what state they're in, what's the amount, and decide which ones is good. But these are very excellent strategy you can do right now that could help you. Again, the other strategy, like Chris said, make sure you have the right entity. Even if you're an LLC now, speak to me, speak to Chris, and see what can be done, because with the care package, you can really do a lot. Another strategy that you could do quickly, even if you go into your after fact, you have to know the meals. And one of the things is, it's surprising that a lot of transporters don't know they can do per diem. Have you all heard about the per diem that you can, depend on the state, about $66 a day without having any receipts? And I've seen so many tax preparers deduct 50% of your meals, but as transporter, you have to deduct 80%. That increase on your deductions as well. And the per diem, for most part, I would say 95% of clients usually is more than your actual, because a driver on the road would just grab a sandwich or whatever, that's $5. But if the government is giving you $66 without even having to show any receipts, that's excellent. That's a good thing that you can have, and you can make sure you have those. So those are just a few of the ones you can have. Before the year end, reimburse yourself. Have a plan to reimburse yourself for the usage of your home. You use your home. A lot of people take mileage, but how do you do that? And you want to make sure you have that and write the check before the end of the year, even if you have to put it back into the business, but you have to make sure you have that and know how to do it though.
Can I add something to your per diem there?
Okay.
With what most truck drivers use to justify the per diem are your log books. With the electronic logging devices we all use today, a lot of software automatically deletes your records after 6 months. So make sure you do regular downloads so that you can keep them to qualify as tax records for the 7 years that they may want to go back to audit them. That way you don't lose that deduction and have it disqualified. We don't want to lose it. And can you expand upon how per diem applies to owner operators, but not necessarily company drivers for the last couple of years, the way they've changed those rules, just so we don't get some guys thinking that I can take this deduction all of a sudden and now I'm not qualified for it?
Yeah, with the company driver, if you're W-2 before, you could have deducted on your sketch, on your itemized deduction. But when they put in the CARE Act, they don't have that, like non-reimbursed expenses. So if you're a company driver, maybe you can speak to your company to probably put it on a W-2 to help you. I've seen that. With owner operators, you have a Schedule C or you have whatever business taxes. Those are valid deductions on your business taxes. And once you're out of your state for the night and you work outside of your state, you qualify for that. And like you said, Brian, just make sure you have your log and what day you did it, and you'll be fine. And the good thing about it, you don't need a receipt, which is a challenge with a lot of transporters. So instead of saving our clients, we usually weigh the difference. How much is the actual and how much is per diem? And I would say 95% it's per diem because they're out most of the time. And that's a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 deduction that you can do legally.
Excellent. Thank you.
I suppose, Ty, you probably use the per diem because you eat so much spam. Is that correct?
Yeah, I ate a lot of spam, that's for sure. Oh man, we got good stories. I'm just going to tell everybody thank you so much. This is really, Chris, I can't tell you thank you enough for coming on here. Zephrina, you as well, Brian and Lionel. But really, guys, I can't say it enough. What we're talking about, what we're demonstrating, what we're showing you, again, is this is business. This is how you build a business. These are parts of the business. We can talk about trucks and trailers another day. We can talk about maintenance another day. Those are all important. But as we build the business, as we grow the business, this is what is real important right here. This is where Ty can really geek out. I won't, but this is fun. Okay? So get used to it. Find Zephrina, find Chris, find Lionel, find Brian. And if you can't find them, call us. We'll make sure you get connected, okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ty.
I second that. Thank you all so much for taking the time tonight. I know we've gone through a lot of information. Kimberly, do me a favor, throw in the links to those websites again for us. But yeah, whether you need tax help, estate planning, regulation advice, or insurance, I've seen, it's been going around. It's really great. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. That was an awesome show and conversation.
You're welcome, Jay. Thank
you.
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
Happy holidays.
Yes, indeed. Happy holidays, everyone.
Stay safe.
Okay.
All right. Keep in touch. All right. And the meeting is over. Bada bing. And here we are. Wow. It was everything I was hoping for. We covered a lot of information. Obviously, there's no way to go into everything that, that everybody needs and what we need now and somebody watching later. But I think you got a taste of the dream team information, tax, planning, regulations, insurance, depending on what you're looking for. And the easy way to do it is just go sign up at autotransportintel.com. You can I put the link in there. Go to autotransportintel.com. You click on sign up, and if you do that, you're going to be in touch with Ty. And then you just tell Ty, hey, this is what I was looking for. I want to learn more about this part, and Ty will point you in the right direction. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, or put it in the comments below. But we want to help point you in the right direction because, as we all know, once it's in the rearview mirror, we're hoping it just stays behind us. We don't want it, following us around everywhere. We want to help solve problems so you can continue to, on the road ahead, to grow your business. And I appreciate Ty connecting me with Zephrina is how this all got started. That was a couple months ago. That's how these shows form. These shows form kind of like star systems get together, and there's dots in the constellation, and hey, this would be a good idea, we should talk more, and then I put the show together, and putting the show together, that is one of my fortes. And so if you've got a show idea, I want to know about it. Let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and let's see if we can put something together. I have a lot of great shows already in the works for 2021. January's booked. February's pretty much booked. I think I'm almost done booking March, and I'm into April. So let me know. We got plenty of time, and we'll put something together. Lots of great stuff, because there is a lot to cover. I want to thank Murphy Auto Transport Services. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sue. We'll see you on Thursday. I want to thank Superflow Systems. Mark, thank you so much for everything you do at Superflow Dispatch Center, Truckify, Pro ABD, Transport Auto Quoter. I want to thank Jack Cooper. Thank you for participating in this channel. Jack Cooper is hiring. Go to jackcooper.com/careers. And I want to thank all my guests. Zephrina, zmcassociates.com, Chris, protectingwealth.com, Lionel, auto-hauler.com, and Brian, yourdotguy.com, Fleet Compliance Solutions. And Brian is my co-host on the DOT Compliance Show on Wednesdays. And Ty, thank you, Ty, Cars on the Move, Fridays at noon. Jay and Ty, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. We do a lot here on Auto Transport Intel. I'm live at least 3 times a week now. In January, it'll be 4 times a week. And I want to help. So it's not just content. We're at the tip of the spear on helping in the auto transport ecosystem, and we're going to keep it that way. So let us know how we can help you. Thank you so much for joining us for another Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. Do me a favor. Stay safe. Have a happy holiday. Have a happy holiday. And we really appreciate your participation. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.